to the top, there ain't none of y'all stopping me. Used to say I never get a ring, Charles Barkley. Now I got a wife, got kids, own property. Bubble-eyed beans that look like that be watching me. Okay, I lied about the beans, but that was hard though. I'm still in that black act, but she starred though. Cause that's all it takes. Don't flash it for. I'm on my grind, not no motherfucking fashion show.
Hello?
Hey,
here we go. I'm sorry, this is AJ. How you doing, Ahmed?
Doing well, sir. How are you today?
I'm pretty good, thank you. So, I see you got a
big
building going on, man. What's going on?
Yes, sir. Well, 2 seconds. Just want to say thanks for all the video and the support and stuff like that you're putting out. I definitely appreciate it. Yeah, so I guess long story short, I got a new opportunity for a distribution center. It is, I can give you a little bit more details about it. Basically, it's 3 shifts, right? So I guess as I'm talking about this, the biggest thing that I kind of need help with is I've never been in a size this big before. Mm-hmm. I'm not really going to change the price on them. I don't want to go down and just seem like a lower competitive. I don't want to just say, hey, I'm going to drop the price a little bit, and make my offer competitive that way. I like to make my offer competitive by offering things that you may not be getting. So, right. You guys may be doing something like stripping and waxing, right? You're doing it for 40 cents a square foot. I'll come in and do it for 20 cents a square foot. Kind of something like that might be a little bit easier. You guys are doing your own, like for the urinal cakes or something like that, like I'll come in and kind of like absorb some of those costs and replace those, every 2 to 3 weeks or something like that. But I guess the biggest thing that I really needed help with is I don't really know at this size. There are certain things I do know how to add value on, but I don't really, when I come back and deliver this proposal in person, what if I'm not going to change the price? What are some of the value adds that you think I could give that'll make them say, oh, wow, we're not getting that from the current company that we're with now? I get so much more value out of what you're bringing to the table.
Gotcha. So the first thing I'm going to ask you, I got some stuff for you, but before I even answer you and give you some ideas,
okay.
Did you get a chance to do a walkthrough with them?
Yes, sir. I did a walkthrough with them, and I also got the invoices that the current company is sending, so I know exactly what the current company is paying. I got the scope of the janitorial work that the current company is doing, and I got the whole contract. So the person that gave me the walkthrough, she was kind of new in that position. I don't really think she was supposed to give me all that information, but I mean, she gave me everything, right? And she was like, do you want a copy of this? I was like, yes, ma'am, I surely do. I got all the shifts that each person is working. I got the people's names who's working the shifts. Like, I got their whole system already right now in place. And they have a nice system. Sorry, but yes, so I already did a walkthrough, yes.
Okay, perfect. So what I wanted to ask you next is, during the walkthrough, did you get a chance to ask her, like, why they were getting the quote in the first place? Like, what are their pain points?
So the only pain point that they really had was, like I said, this place needs 7 full-time workers, and there's 3 different shifts, A shift, B shift, C shift. But she said that the biggest thing that they see from time to time is that, one, like, she'll say, hey, like, no one ever mops and sweeps my office. Can you guys do that? And for whatever reason, the worker's like, no, I'm not supposed to. So, that was kind of one thing where I was like, okay, that's like a simple add-on that we can easily, put your office into the scope of our work, and we're not going to, really charge you guys extra. This is you have a simple office, that's fine. So I mean, it's simple kind of things like that where, just adding on like little things here or there. That was one thing. And another thing that I know that they said was sometimes they get low on workers, which is kind of the opposite problem that I'm having right now. But that's really the biggest pain point, though, is the fact that they get low on staff sometimes.
Gotcha. And when you say low on staff, you mean like their current cleaning company is supposed to be 7 people there, but sometimes it's not, all 7 aren't there.
Or I guess, so there's 7 full-time people there. So they break it down like there's 2 on A shift, 2 on B shift, and 3 on C shift. So maybe sometimes 2 people call out from C shift and there's only 1 person there when there's supposed to be 3. So never at any given time there's 7 people. There's always at least 2, sometimes 3. Once a day, 3. Yeah.
So what I would do is the first thing I would add to stand out is 1, exactly what they asked for, right? So I would guarantee that, you know, we'll always have, you know, 2 people on this shift, 2 people on this shift, and 3 people on this shift. And if you can find a way, maybe even throw in like, and we'll also do like, you know, have a floater or an inspector come in once a week to be on top of those people. So that would be something that I add that, because that'll probably stand out better, and that's a current problem. Then the other thing obviously would be like mopping her off. Just go ahead and put it automatically in the scope of work, so that way the your cleaners won't be able to say that. Or you could even go a step further, but again, you gotta estimate the cost on this, because you saw the building, I didn't. But maybe even make that a thing where it's just like, we will also, you got to be careful how you word it, but we will also, you know, do any, you know, one-time add-ons as needed within reasonable, you know, whatever, within reason. And so that would include things like mopping certain offices, even though it wasn't in the original scope. And as long as they're not overboard with it, and you can kind of explain it. So that's one way that you can work that, but I will add those 2 things. Definitely put her office in any other space that you might have walked through that currently isn't in the scope, that probably should be, and it shouldn't take too much extra time. Add things like that. And then also try to see if you can either just kind of sell her on the fact that you are overstaffed and you got people that's hungry to work. So that shouldn't be a problem. So those would be the main pain points that I would sell, especially since you're going back to deliver it in person, so you can kind of communicate that. And then also what I was going to say in addition is just that, I mean, really that, but it's just add to the scope of work. So the number one thing I like to add, if I wanted to stand out, what I like to tell people is a disinfecting service once a month, because disinfecting is fast and you just literally just walk around spraying it. And then 2, you can kind of sell her on the fact that while you can't really see the difference from a disinfecting service because you just, you know, fog in the area, the thing is you should see the difference in their employee, what is it called? I guess show up rate. So because people should call out sick less because you'll have less germs. So that would be something that you could throw in, but just throwing ideas out there.
So I do have a fogger. Yeah, so I do have a fogger machine that I could easily do that. Correct. Okay.
Perfect. So those are my things though. But like you said, I love your idea on keep the price the same, but just add more value. So that's because again, if their price was the problem, they would have said that, right? But no, they said it was more so service. So we're gonna sell them on service. So I like that. What else you got?
So really the big thing is now at this, like I said, I've never had anything at this scale. And when I did a walkthrough, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think that there is. How can I say this? Really, the biggest thing is really more of a day porter. That's really it. So
that's all it is. Yeah.
Because me and my business partner, we got in the car and I said, hey, there is not enough work like for this amount that they're paying for someone to constantly have something to do. Like I looked at all the work. So to me, it just really seems like they just want someone there so their staff doesn't have to do it. So
that's the best part about day porter positions.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you know, it's kind of crazy on that. So, there's kind of like a couple of things on that. Is like some of it is like equipment, right? For really, again, it's like I don't know what some of the things that I could be missing for something that size. And I know that's a very broad question, but you know that like even on the warehouse floor we don't have to sweep and stuff like that. So really they're really 100% just kind of focused on the offices and the bathrooms because it's a corporate office. So it's a corporate distribution center. So they just want it looking prestige all the time, just in case any of the big wigs, you know, kind of come down and visit the office.
Yep. What type of flooring is the majority of the floors that y'all will be cleaning?
I want to say PCT tile?
BCT, yep.
Yeah. So, and that's going to get stripped and waxed. They want, and it's probably 700, 800 square feet or so. They want that stripped and waxed once a month.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So the reason I asked is because one thing that we did at one of the day porter buildings that my brother still has right now is what we do is we do a machine scrub each day as well. So it's like they'll do their regular routine task, and then it's like, okay, at X amount of time, when the workers, because you don't know, but at this particular building that we had, the workers would take like breaks at every 2 hours or something like that, and so it'll be busy.
Right.
So in between one of those 2 hour shift break times, we will go ahead and hop on that machine scrubber and just kind of ride around and machine scrub the floor. So if you already own a machine scrub, well, hell, with a contract this size, it will be worth probably financing one or buying one outright if you could get a machine scrub and maybe throw that in, because again, machine scrubbing is minimal labor. All they're going to be doing is sitting around riding, and is a huge value add to the customer. It's like, damn, okay, they'll do all of that at the same price. But like you said, because your workers aren't really doing, they're not super busy anyway. So that would be one way to do it. Now, if that's too much, then another thing would be to, make your scope of work more detailed than what they previously have. So, for example, if the current scope of work is all they're doing is dumping trash, light dusting, spot cleaning walls, I'm trying to think, what else would it possibly be? Bathrooms, stuff like that. Yeah. I would add, we'll high dust as we go. We'll, I don't know, I'm trying to think, like refill, the cups in the water fountain, in the water dispensers. Like, I'm trying to think of like random things that could be being overlooked right now. Like, try to think back, like when you did that walkthrough, what were some things that really stood out? Like spot cleaning the doors nonstop. If they got glass entry doors, maybe that wasn't getting done efficiently. Maybe you can add that into it. But things like that they're trying to keep your people busy as well. But again, if they're not too busy, then hell, they're just going to get, they got a cake job, and that'll help you keep some employee retention anyway. So, I mean, I wouldn't worry about the fact that they're too busy. Obviously, I guess the fear could be, them trying to sneak off, sleep attendance classes or something like that. But me personally, I try to purposely make my job easier for my people. And
100%.
Because that'll keep them there longer. So, I mean, if it's not that much to do, then I would just say, hey, make your rounds, make laps out of it. I don't care if you got to make 4 laps and do the same thing 4 times a day, but just be grateful that you got an easy job. That's all. Right.
Yeah, because I mean, essentially, I'm looking at the contract right now, and it's like the facility will be staffed from 5 a.m. to 2:30 a.m. So essentially, it's like we're in there 22 hours a day, right? And it's like, ain't that much to clean. I promise you. You can only dump trash. I'm serious. It's like, we're supposed to go into an office from 5 a.m. to 3, dump trash. That's a shift. And then the next shift is going in at 3 to 12:30 a.m. How much trash is going to accumulate in a little cubicle office, with just one person in there? So that's what I'm saying. So I just didn't know if there was something that, like, I was missing because, again, like, right now I'm only doing like 12 to 13,000 a month, and like recurring revenue, and that's not including
pretty good, by the way. Congrats on that.
I appreciate it. So that's not. So essentially, a $33,000 contract is going to be a much. It's a lot different. So, I didn't know.
I thought it was a good one. Something else that we did in this particular contract that we had like this is the parking lot. Is that already part of the scope of work?
So it is. And so I actually talked to a guy about that yesterday, because they have about 15 or so, I drove around and counted, 15 trash cans outside. That was one of the things I was like, okay, so if I'm looking at my employees, am I going to have them carry around like a cart and get all the stuff? Or is it kind of worth getting like a little bobcat or something like that out there where they can kind of do it a little bit quicker? So
but in this case, you kind of don't want quicker, do you? Because you don't want them to be done too soon. But Go ahead. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? So, we had a cart. We just had a big roll, and actually, the customer providers, they may have one already on site for you.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely true. They could have one there. I'm not sure. I didn't ask about current equipment, and that's something that I probably should have asked about. is, do they already have any current equipment there that is that for that facility for us to use? So I could know what I may have to bring in and stuff like that. That's another question for me to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, man, honestly, this one sounds like a easy come up. Like, and as long as you know, because and you said you're going to hand deliver it, so that's perfect. So I think as long as you go back and really sell them on it really good on those pain points, this deal should be closed. And congrats, because you definitely about to have a big jump there.
Right. Yeah.
I would just go all out to stand out, man, and really like, and the fact that you got their systems already, you got the shifts, you already know, like it should be plug and play, and all y'all got to do, what y'all get in there, just really stand out, like do the things that most cleaning companies overlook, like the blinds, like the ledges, like corners that got cobwebs all over them, like cleaning the actual trash cans. You know what I mean? The trash cans, the individual trash cans that people death, like little detail things like that. I will be having my people do that at least once a month or something like that, just to make it stand out. And in that very first clean, overpay your people to go all in and make it sparkle, like make it look as brand new as possible, just to, really make them feel like, yeah, they made the right decision.
Got you. And I know we're kind of, running on time. Last question. I'll keep asking questions if you got time, but if not, I get it. Only takes 15 minutes.
I'm good to about 11.
Okay. So part of what I wanted to do as well, because there was really one of the guys that she really liked when I did a walkthrough. She said, yeah, Nico is great. I love Nico. So I actually want to keep some of their people, because, again, it wasn't the fact that they did a bad job. We went through and looked at the facility, and I said, man, it looks good. So it looked pretty good. So there are certain people there that I'm probably going to end up keeping, because, granted, they already know a lot of the facilities and stuff like that. So one thing I want to do, because she name dropped Nico specifically, I want to definitely keep him. And I want to actually just go to Nico if we do get the contract and say, hey, we're going to take over the contract. It's 7 of you guys that work here full time. There are certain of my people that I am going to bring in. Between me and you, which of your people, like which of the people that you work with do you like to work with, and which of them do you think that may not be, which of them are kind of lazy? Or I don't want to really say that, but I don't know. Do you think, should I just kind of clean house per se, or because they are? Go ahead.
I would definitely try to retain Nico if you can, but I probably wouldn't come at him like that, because then if you come at him like that, then that gives him leverage to feel like he's in a position of power, and I don't want him, I don't want him, coming in that way. So instead, I would come at him and just simply educate him, let him know, like, hey, I just wanted to give you a heads up that we are putting in a bid for this contract. I'm not sure if you own the contract or if you work for the guy, but I do want you to know that the staff is happy with you. So if you are interested, we'll be happy to bring you on and keep you here under us if we get the contract. Would that be something you're interested in? So I would come at it more so like that, where you still have the authority here. It's not a partnership. Right. You know what I mean? Because if you come out in the other way that you said, it sounds like, hey, man, you got some power here. Who you think we should keep? Like, don't give him that much. And then so it's like, but if he's interested, then cool. All right. And then it's like, okay, well, thanks, man. And actually, now that I got you, your verbal commit, what do you think about the other guys here? They didn't mention any of them by name, but they did mention you. But is there anybody else here working here that you think that, really does a good job that we might should consider as well? So something like that.
Okay. That definitely makes more sense. I like that. All right. Okay. I mean, there are certain things that I'm kind of worried about as well, like financing for something like this. But, like, I worked in finance. Like, some of my friends got a decent amount of money, and, I think that I could easily say, hey, look, I got a new contract. I need $25,000 this month, and I'll pay you right back next month when I get the contract. Or, like, when I, like, finally get paid. One thing that they also had, so I guess this may be a question for, like, some of my older people. So one thing that I'm kind of running into right now is certain clients pay by check, and I absolutely hate that, because sometimes they get 30, 40, almost 45 days sometimes into the invoice.
Yep.
I want to so one thing I kind of want to go back in, and I saw on this contract specifically, they had that if they paid the invoice within the first 10 days, I think they got like a 2% discount or something like that. And that's something that I'll continue and I'll honor that as well. But I kind of want to go back to some of my older clients and say, hey, like, you know, I want to implement this. If you guys like, you know, have you ever had to kind of go back and do that before? Or
I haven't had to go back and do that before, but this is definitely like standard practice. Like I've seen that plenty of times to where I forgot what it's called. I think it's like a net 10 and 2 or 10 and 30. I forgot how they name it, but it's different variations of it. But basically, exactly. But like you just said, if they pay a few days early, then they get a particular discount. So yeah, definitely go back to them. And a lot of times the companies will be happy with it because you know companies are trying to save wherever they can save. So
right,
yeah,
okay.
definitely try. And two, if you don't like the checks, I'm not sure if you're using a software, but whatever software that you're using, yeah, just try see if they'll do it and do the virtual invoice and try to see if they'll let you do ACH.
Yeah, definitely asked 2 of the people right now, and one just completely said, nope, everything we do is by check. We have no choice. Because, you know, some of that corporate, you know, structure is like they have to do stuff, I guess, a certain way. I'm trying to think. So I'm going to deliver the invoice in person. Yeah, I mean, really that was kind of like my biggest question is just like, you know, what value add can I kind of do? And obviously, like, we can do kind of the tit for tat things. Like, you know, I'll supply the rugs. I'll change all that stuff up. Because down here, well, I'm in North Carolina. We have Centos. I don't know if you guys have that down.
Yeah, familiar with them.
Yep. And so that's something that I would, you know, hey, I'll take the rugs for, you know, the common areas and change those out every other week or something like that. That's an easy value add. We can do the pressure washing outside. Trying to think. Yeah, that was really like my biggest thing. So I think the biggest thing that you kind of helped me out with is just really the current scope of work. Dive a little bit deeper into that, and really just dive through that a little bit more.
Yeah, and then just really sell them on the fact that when you get there that you know, the staffing won't be an issue because you're overstaffed right now anyway.
Yeah, and I got people trying to move to Charlotte and work for me full time, and it's like I don't have enough right now. Like I don't have enough jobs for y'all to actually move here. So, yeah, I think that was. I mean, for the most part, I think that was really like all I had. I did see you drop the video yesterday. Hard work ain't enough. So I haven't seen that one yet, but I'm gonna watch that one. I'm gonna watch that one today though.
Check that out. Check that out, man. And all I can say is, oh, by the way, do you mind if I am recording this call, by the way, do you mind if I share this on YouTube?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, of course. Of course. So.
And I was going to tell you, man, just get pumped up, man. Play some music. Do something to get you hyped. Close this deal. It sounds like it's definitely closable. And, yeah, just close the deal, man. I think you can close this one for sure. For her to give you all that information, just hearing it, I think you can do it. And hell, I tell you what, with a contract this size and the fact that you said that the building was not that dirty either, I mean, if you feel like it at the very last minute, if you want to cut it just a little bit, you know, the price just a little bit, and not too much, go for it because that does make a difference. I noticed that when you deal with corporate companies, they looking at numbers, they ain't looking at people. So if you can, you know, even if it's $5 less, you know, it could make a difference. You know what I mean? So, but definitely, but that's just a little thing. Like I like your plan though. Sell them on the value, price is the same, and close the deal, man. Sell them on their payment.
Yeah. For the most part, it looks like they're doing 246, and I'm looking at it right now. 7 employees for 246 hours total per week, and they're charging the company $25 an hour, and they're paying, you know, their people $13.50 or, you know, kind of something like that. $13.50, you know, range in there. So, but yeah, so I could probably maybe, you know, like you said, cut it down. If it's 24,700 now, all right, we can do 24,000 even, right?
Right.
So, but yeah, man. Well, I definitely appreciate the time, and you know, if whenever I do close it, I'll send you an email and say, you know, I appreciate the advice.
Yeah, for sure. I'm be looking for it, man. I'm definitely gonna share it too and brag about it. So that's what's up, my man. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much. All right, hey man, you have a blessed day. Okay.
Thanks, bro. You too.
You too. All right. Okay. Bye.
Are you looking to start your own cleaning company? Or maybe you started your cleaning company, but you just need a support group, some mentorship, some guidance. Hell, a bidding calculator just to help you know if you're pricing the job correctly. Join us at cleanbiznetwork.app. That's www.cleanbiznetwork.app today and get on the right track with your cleaning company. We have everything you could possibly need to get you going in the right direction and see why we've been the leading cleaning business consulting company for the past 5 years and why they call me, AJ Simmons, the cleaning business GOAT. So I can help you just like I've helped and my company has helped thousands of other people start and grow their cleaning companies. Go to the #1 source today, www.cleanbiznetwork.app. Thank you.